When Lucas saw the Shadow Knight, pure terror seized him. A voice, cold and sharp, sliced through the air. "Remember my name. I am Cross." Before Lucas could even process the words, the Dark Knight charged. The world went black. Just like that, Cross and his men vanished like smoke. Later, his father, frantic with worry, found him unconscious in a dark alley. An ambulance rushed Lucas to the hospital. He missed a whole month of school, laid up with his injuries. His teacher, Miss Peterson, kept asking where he was. Meanwhile, the girl Lucas had saved, Lily, was telling everyone what happened. She said he'd saved her from thugs, that he'd used some kind of power. Most people thought she was crazy, but Lily stuck to her story. She was telling the truth. Back at the hospital, the situation was grim. Lucas had severe injuries to his ribs and head from the brutal beating. The doctors tried everything, but nothing seemed to work. Desperate, his dad took him to a place whispered about in hushed Tonza Supernatural Hospital, a hidden sanctuary where people with extraordinary abilities were healed. And miraculously, it worked. While Lucas was recovering, things at school got complicated. Beth, the girl Lucas had a crush on, started grilling Lily with strange questions. Lily stayed quiet, not giving anything away. But something had shifted. Beth, who had barely noticed Lucas before, was suddenly interested. At the same time, Lily was realizing she had feelings for the boy who had saved her. Lucas stayed home, focusing on his recovery and continuing his training in secret, pushing himself a little bit each day. 3 long months passed. Finally, the day came when he had to go back to school. That night, as he slept, something incredible happened. He was teleported to a world he never knew existed, a realm only mentioned in ancient myths. A massive shadow loomed before him, and he started to panic. But the shadow creature was not there to harm him. It was there to train him. 145 push-ups, it commanded. Run 2,000 miles! And so he ran. Time worked differently in this strange dimension. A single day. There was an entire year in the real world. Back home, his father watched over his motionless body, believing he was in a coma, still breathing, but lost to them. Lucas trained and trained and trained, pushing his body and spirit to their absolute limits for what felt like an eternity. Finally, the shadow being released. Him, if you wish to return, it said, you must drain your power before you enter. Lucas did as he was told, and suddenly, he was back in his own bed, in his own world. He was disoriented, confused, but he got up and went to school as if it were a normal day. The moment he walked through the doors, he was bombarded with questions. He ignored them all. His mind and body, exhausted from years of intense training, crammed into a few months. He was so tired, he practically slept through class. Ms. Peterson didn't even seem to notice he was there. Then, Beth approached his desk. "Hi," she said sweetly. "We missed you." Lucas looked up, and his voice was deeper, changed. "I don't care what you think." The words hit Beth like a slap. She ran out of the classroom, crying, mortified. How could I be rejected by a poor person? She fumed to herself, fueled by anger and humiliation. She called her 3 big brothers. They showed up at school, ready to teach Lucas a lesson. They surrounded him, cracking their knuckles. Lucas didn't flinch. He just stood up slowly, a strange calm in his eyes. He looked at each of them, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice low and steady, "for what you're about to taste?" Thanks for watching. If you want to see what happens next, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss it.